Hey, look, Menulog.
This is 100% the Gravitas. I think it's Gravitas, the Frostfire Cogmore build, I think, because it's got the weak side on top lane. They always have a weak side top laner. They tried to pick a hyper carry, he built tank, and then they just lost.
I
think it's against Peace.
Who did they play? Oh, you're on the money. Look at that. Beautiful. That's 3 points.
Wow.
Well, I'll give Rusty 2 points.
Nerfing.
Rusty, so many points.
Yeah, I pay attention to the league that I cast.
I think it's the cardigan buff. You just feel smarter when you got like the grandpa outfit on, right?
Dude, that thing's so comfy. I'm so sad that it's hot weather at the moment. I'm so excited for winter.
Yeah, it's odd because it's not like hot, right? It's wet.
It's muggy.
The air is wet. It's hot enough that it's gross.
Humid and
look,
stuffy.
we love humidity on the odd occasion, but not every single damn day. It's going to make me cry. It's going to make me sad. And look, we've got to talk Chiefs. We've got to talk Mammoth jumping into the second matchup of the day. So, Skimmy, tell me about Chiefs and tell me what they're going to do to Mammoth today.
Yeah, well, Chiefs, as you see, 10 wins on the bounce. They're looking, refined. Just every synonym that there is out there, right? Filtered, polished, treated, processed, whatever it could be. They just look to be the real deal right now. And they've only had one defeat all split long. But if there's anything to go off their victory against Order, it's just who can take them down now? Is it going to be a case of best of one, cheese is not being enough? Are we looking really towards the future of BO3s or BO5s? But for the most part, they've really been showing up across all different positions, and we have seen literally every single player carry.
Yeah, I saw that their house was stacked on the bloody weekend as well. They had multiple different games worth in there. Pico hated it, so she's running out screaming. But look, we got a second team to talk about, so let's talk about Mammoth. Rusty, talk to me. This team, they were looking pretty good at the start of the split, and as time's gone on, it seems like something just isn't fitting the foot.
Yeah, it feels like Mammoth have started well, right? And then that honeymoon period ended, and they've really started to struggle lately. I feel like at the moment, this team, where some of the early wins were around Fury with some pocket picks, perhaps they just had some niche options there for themselves. Even now, they still have the Vhagar if they wanted. But really, it's just voice, right? Like, the team has just defaulted so heavily to voice carrying that it feels like they're out of options. And in the LCO, there are so many good ADs that you can't actually bank on voice getting to 3 items without the cost being high, in essence, right? And Mammoth, I don't think they've really worked out how to play around anything other than that. So that's what I'm hoping to see more of from them. Because if you're against a team like the Chiefs, you're against a super team with 5 winning roles. Well, 5 winning lanes, 3 winning lanes. Like, it's so difficult to play against. You really have to step up across the board.
You really need to play out of your mind if they are to even get close. And look, Chiefs, they're just playing like a step above everyone else. That at the start of the split, there was a little bit of limit testing going on, but I feel like after that, they realized, look, we can really just be the best damn team that shows up every single day. And since then, look, it's just a whole different Chiefs, and they are untouchable. They truly are untouchable, except Tapoon in the top lane. Look, he's probably the best top laner that we have, but when he gets targeted, he knows it and shows that top laning is completely useless, Skinny.
He does, and so much so that he tells Tally, go back to your previous role. I'm playing mid today, right? So they've got that flexibility. It's coming really into the narrative leading up into the start of the split, right? That they have all this experience, this wealth of experience of being played and dominated not only here, but overseas, to get picked up to play overseas, the amount of championships they've won. So the expectations were high, and they certainly are delivering on that front.
They really are. Now, look, we got to talk about a couple of things, and it's how Mammoth are going to be able to make it into that 5th position, if there's even a chance, because they have a couple of big games remaining. Look, Chiefs, of course, is one of them, and they're going to have to play out of their minds. So with the shakiness we've seen from them over the Super Weeks, maybe back to 2 days a week is a little buff for them, Rusty. You think they're going to be able to put more prep time in to teams like Chiefs, or do you think it's not really going to matter?
I mean, I think it helps them that there's less gains. I also think it helps them that there's still 3 whole weeks left, right? In the same way that helps every team, to be fair, but it's about the development that Mammoth can continue to try and make. Because as it stands, Mammoth is a team that is at 4 wins, and if you want to make top 5, Direwolves today are at 7. So if you don't win today, you are significantly far behind, right? That the potential that you just fall out with 6 remaining games, I mean, you now have to hope the Direwolves lose half of them for you to even make that distance. So it gets rough. it's not easy to look at something like this and say the climb's possible, but if you're ever going to start looking for progression, it has to always be today.
And
right?
at that point, look, like we're talking about progression, we're talking about voice. He's come a long way since the start of the split. But going head-to-head with Raze, that's also a very big task because Raze has been so strong, so consistent for Chiefs. And you're just looking at the stats, it's like a whole different world between the two here, Skip.
It is, right? And you'd look at it and go, oh, well, you know, Raze's average damage share is a little bit lower. But, I mean, that is just cadence to the idea that Chiefs can carry from literally every single position. He doesn't have to be the star of the show. He doesn't want to be, whereas Voice is really towing the line of saying, lock me in one of these champions and I'll do as much work as I can, right? We saw him lock in the Vayne, for instance, to try and take down the Ezreal. One locked in isolation. Laning phase is a little bit rough, but found a few moments to try and cater around, but for the most part, we have seen a bit of a deviation from Mammoth. I think it started around like late week 5 when they locked in the Seraphine mid and said, it's all about you. Let's just see what you can do. Let's hope that the draft works in our favor. Let's hope that they try and ban pocket picks in, you know, maybe mid and top towards Tron and Refury, and maybe you get the best matchup possible. But it's easier said than done.
Yeah, easier said than done indeed. And look, someone that's made interviews look easier since the start of the split is Kitty. So let's bring her back in to the desk. Kitty, who do you have for the pregame?
Well, thank you, Mac. Thank you for the compliment. But talking about best ADCs, I've grabbed Raze for his opinion on the ADC players for this split. Hello, Raze. So the title of best bot lane has been tossed around quite a bit in this split, seeing a lot of strong performing ADCs across the league. With yourself being at the top of the rankings, who do you think is your main competitor in the ADC for this split?
Oh, hi, Kitty. I think the ADC I've had the most trouble playing against actually would be Puma. I think the Autobot lane is the most consistent. As people, if you follow Twitter, would know, we don't actually get a scrum against PGG, so I have no idea how good their bot lane really is, but just from playing against like Order bot lane versus like Peace, for example, like I definitely think Puma is the best ADC next to me.
Puma does have a lot of outstanding performances as well, but you obviously having the best performances on that Tristana especially, but with years of experience being a professional player who has played in different regions, do you have any tips and tricks for your fans that aspire to go pro?
Tips and tricks would just be to like focus on yourself, just focus on improving, like winning the game. Caring so much about winning the game won't make you a better player. Like you'll just get frustrated at like every little thing that happens. So just like try have a positive attitude and just focus on improvement.
And I know a lot of players actually do a lot of VOD reviewing. Is that actually effective in terms of improving at the game?
I don't get much improvement off like VOD reviewing. It's hard for me to like just imagine myself being in the game. Like I get so much better practice just like having good scrims, like solo queue I don't get good practice off since it's just like a lot of unrealistic stuff. So I mainly just like focus on trying to get as much as possible out of the few scrims I get a day, like per week. So that's what I focus on personally. But I know for like other players, just VOD reviewing, watching VODs are like the best players in the world. They get a lot out of that. So just depends on the person.
And this one's from Mac. From previous interviews, you were in the background and Mac mentioned how high your APM was. So do you do any rituals or anything to get your APM so high before a stage game?
I don't. I think I was probably just alt tabbing. I don't think my APM is that high for a pro player unless I'm like playing Callista. I usually use right click to like use my movement on Callista, so that's probably the only AD carry I have a high APM on, and Draven I guess, but I'd say my APM's like, I don't do anything special for that.
Well, your APM is high compared to the Boomer Mac, so let's bring Mac back into the conversation, and best of luck, Raze, in your match today.
Thank you.
This man, he's got like 5 tabs per second. Like that's what are you getting from that? I just don't understand. You can't watch 5 things at once. Just focus on one thing. You focus on the stream and nothing else. Make sure you follow LCO while you're here. Now look, Dare MVP, not Dare MVP, sorry, Dare Fanvote. You guys at home, make sure you get those Twitch points in put them on your team. And I actually care about you doing this because my prediction is now with you guys. It's in your hands. So you can tank it, or you can save my predictions by just picking the team that wins. So please, pretty please, pick the team that wins, because then I might love you more than I already do.
Oh.
Now we got predictions here too. It's a lot, Rusty. I love Twitch chat heaps. They know that, don't you guys? Yeah, good. Anyway, predictions. Let's look. All right, everyone's gone with Chiefs. I feel like there's absolutely no surprises here. Kitty, I want to hear your thoughts on this matchup because you haven't had a chance to talk yet.
So Mammoth, like Rusty said, I believe their honeymoon period has ended, and now they're just finding every single game very tough. We saw from the Super Week results that they actually went 1-8. So I don't actually think Mammoth will get to perform against the best team in the league right now. So that's why I've gone with Chiefs.
Okay, very strong. Look, Mammoth, I feel like if we're going percentages, I'm thinking it's like a 5% today for Mammoth. And they can make it happen, but they all have to be playing their A game. They all have to be playing out of their minds. Rusty, what are your thoughts in terms of percentages?
I was just thinking about that, and I wonder if 5 is too generous. And that's not to disrespect Mammoth. That is just genuinely the Chiefs right now. Like,
Yeah.
they just this past week have proven that they can carry through all 5 roles. Like, Arthur went crazy, Tally went crazy, and we were used to saying that it was Raze carrying, but Drag who stepped up bot lane. We know Top Moon's a terror, so I don't know if anyone beats the current Chiefs unless they improve.
Yeah, Arthur had his best game so far this split last week, and let's see if he can keep that consistent. Look, in the jungle, I feel like he's probably going to have a relatively easy time, but we'll see how these rotations go. We do know him and Dragku love to work together. They love to go for those dual roams and try to set the rest of the lanes up for success, and it's been working, so I don't think it's going to change. But speaking of Roman, look, the amount of times we've seen Mammoth just go as a full 5-man group into fights, even early. Like, they started doing that really early on in the split, and it was very successful for them. But I don't know if 5 players are going to be enough going up against Chiefs here, Skibby.
I think it's like one of those early game, like high risk, high reward just kind of strats, right? Because if you invest all those resources into that one play and it fails, well, you just lose the game in 10 minutes time anyway, because of the soak and the experience and the pressure elsewhere in those side lanes where your enemy actually was. So we've seen him get wins in that regard because they've just Rambo towards the later, so we're going to win. But I don't think you can do that against Chiefs.
No, I don't think you can, but look, we can at least figure out how Mammoth think they're going to win, because they got to get through the draft and Champ Select's ready. So let's jump in and see what they pick.
Let's see what I pick, because they have picked a whole host of interesting picks in the last few weeks, primarily in mid and top. We've seen the likes of a Fizz come out, we've seen a Seraphine mid, we've seen a Poppy top as well. So what tricks do they have in that bag for Mammoth as Chiefs start things off with a P1 Jinx?
I mean, again, the logical choice would be to respond with an Aphelios or a Caitlyn Lux or a Zeri, right? Because all of these ADCs are still open. So to no one's surprise, they will just lock that one in. Voice, I do feel like, has been most comfortable on the Zeri, perhaps out of everybody that's played so far. He just loves it. Puma, perhaps, the strong contender. But this means that Voice is in his comfort zone. This also means that Rocco may even just, you don't have to pick it second, but may consider the Yuumi spec. Right, just go back to what works for them. I really like this second pick here from Mammoth as well, Skimmy. Straight up, just get the Rise. You don't need to pick your bottom lane yet. As you're seeing from these hovers, there are so many junglers available, even though the Xin Zhao is banned, that you are pretty much just fine to pick whatever you'd like in response to the Chiefs.
Pretty much pick, as you say, whatever you're after. Is worth noting, 12-5, Crescent Guard got a slight nerf, his ultimate, from 5 to 4 seconds. On the invulnerability, right? So maybe that's enough in consideration here. After to say, it's going to be Gwen when I have to pick it a litter. Syndra now being hovered also here by Tally. So if he's saying, well, Mammoth, you've locked in to very strong meta champions, we're just going to beat you with better skirmishing.
I think the Syndra would be a surprising third pick. I wouldn't actually expect Mammoth to ban that one. It's possible now that it was hovered, though. So Nautilus is going to be the champion of choice. So perhaps this is a read from the Chiefs, right? They've just said that you're going to go with Enchanter. And now they have just said, I dare you to. Man with a cat ear headset, will you play a cat ear champion in the face of a Nautilus? In the face of Dragku, who hard punished.
Oh.
Interesting choice.
Surely that's a Yuumi or a Lulu in that spot right there, but the next follow-up would have been, which is obviously irrelevant now, whether or not they would have just actually banned away them, even considering they'd locked in the Nautilus on their side. Regardless, we've got ourselves a Braum Zeri, not a common pairing we see all too often, but it was really a cycling between the Braum or the Yuumi as Rocco's most played. Into the second half, though, of the picks and the bans, and Tapoon will not be afforded his chance to play Jace.
Yeah, Jace going to be taken away. You know, Jace is an interesting ban. I do feel like Jace opens up the floor to like a Cannon top lane. Jace is actually one of the few top laners that handles Cannon quite nicely. It means that you never really get to press E, for example. Beyond that, Jace is just a strong ranged weak side top laner, so it could still just be like a Graves ban angle next to take it away from top lane. Maybe get rid of some comfort. Given that the Gwen has been locked in, they're looking for physical champions to get rid of, and Gwen doesn't have any setup. So Nautilus makes sense, but for mid and for top lane, if assuming this is a jungle, Gwen Arthur has played it before, you would want like the Renekton type champions, right? That can make things easy for him to get into the play.
The case. Make it easy for them to link up with one another, which won't be as easy enough for Mayfun. 3 games in a row for their match history on the Hecarim. Not going to be a 4th, nor will it be the Volley Bay either for them to guarantee turret dives or any kinds of easy setup with the CC. And Reeve Fury is once again going to be hovering that caster. Now, he played it into this team last time, but let's be honest, surely not this time with the Rise already there.
No, surely not picked here either, because then you'd just be blind picking Cassidy, and there's already a Rise that would have to be going top lane. So
Oh!
we waited to see what the jungler would be. It is in fact going to be a Kindred, so now the eyebrows raise on why it wasn't a Karma or a Lulu to be picked instead of that Braum, but perhaps it is still going to be one. Rise is picked.
Yeah, scratch your head, that is for sure. We are second game of the Kindred. We saw it played by Tien before in the top lane. That was a fun game. We had a Silas as well, double ults, bit of Venn diagram.
I think I still Syndra here if I was the Chiefs, but again, I have that slight Syndra bias. It just does really well overall. Victor is another good scaling control mage option. Yeah, less gank setup, because you're not going to be hitting your gravity stun very easily, right? But still can put in some work. We have confirmed that the Gwen is going to be jungling, which is why perhaps, you know, if you're looking to gank lane, Syndra could be there. But Victor scales so nicely. Doesn't have push early, but starts to match the push of the Rise.
Time to unveil, and look, I saw a Cassiopeia for a second and thought, okay, we're really going pedal to the metal, but it is going to be the Malphite, so ourselves a jungle Kindred this time around. A comp that looks similar to a Wombo combo in some kind of semblance, right? Got the Braum, the Malphite jumping in together, locking him in place for as long as possible, hoping that affords enough time for the likes of Azeri and a Rise to rotate through their own CDs. If there is any danger, any chaos, maybe that Lamb's Respite would be enough. But Chiefs just looks like, you know, bread and butter, textbook gaming. What's got them this far already?
Yeah, Chiefs composition just makes sense, right? Everyone playing a champion that they're comfortable with. Raze with his highlight reels last week. Topoon with the montages that he can make already from what exists of his Gnar gameplay. Arthur with Gwen, place that has been fairly comfortable for him. Tally with Victor. It's a very known quantity across the board here, right? Their team fighting is solid. They have really good engage from a Gnar with flanks, with Mega Gnar, with Nautilus hitting those hooks. The follow-up is exceptional overall as well, right? They've got front to back, they've got short to long range in their composition. Mammoth have got a Malphite to engage, but there's mixed damage across the whole top side with 2 magic damage dealers in both jungle and mid, so he can't just stack armor. Mayfun's Kindred doesn't work with the Malphite in any specifically known way. It simply exists. Gwen is more of like a level 6 just hard farming champion. Has very difficult gank angles. So perhaps it's just free for Kindred, right? Just wants to kind of abuse that and get some early clears and marks off. Mids should have priority, which will help a little bit for perhaps, you know, like first scuttle being secured. And bot lane is Zeri and Braum. And I feel like Braum does fine in this 2v2, but generally speaking, Braum is very 50-50 in the eyes of pro players, Skimmy. Most people either feel like it does absolutely nothing and it is just a dog water champion. Or you're a Braum enthusiast where you just walk at them level 1, make the plays happen. Zeri can proc stuns pretty easy and you just get hypey in their face and make Braum fun.
Want to see if they can find any fun in this game. Up against the favourites, Chiefs 14-1. Flip the script around, you see Mammoth coming in with just 4 wins to the name instead. Let's check in with the coaching staff and let's welcome back fan favourite in Kuden from the side of the Chiefs. And I have to ask Kuden, the perfect 9-0 Super Week. So, you know, we keep talking about what your goals are going forward. We've had pentakills, we've had making OSA major region, but is the new goal now to finish out the split with a 16 win streak?
Not just the split, the whole year. We're gonna go no losses. You can hear me?
I can hear
Hello?
you. Fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah. No losses whatsoever. I mean,
The whole year.
it's very hard to achieve. We've seen teams do it in the
MSI
past, right? But even at MSI Worlds, I mean, that's how you're going to become a major region. Well, I have to ask one quick question about this draft in particular. Were you surprised at all by what Mammoth have locked in here? Because the first 2 picks with the Horizons there, we were thinking that was great, but then they've deviated a lot since.
Yeah, the Kindred. I had no idea. Didn't expect it or think about it at all. I don't know if it's
Hopefully,
good though, but
it's not enough to
yeah.
cause an upset. I want to see. We'll have to see. But I wish you boys the best of luck. Hopefully, we can get that perfect win streak. Not
I
for the
got one more
split,
last thing
but,
to say.
going forward.
Happy birthday,
Yes.
Kisei. Happy birthday, Kisei.
Happy birthday. I'm surely appreciate that one. All right, good. Well, appreciate your time as always. Yeah, good luck for you and the boys.
Here's the.
So, Skimmy, I feel like things went almost the projected path here, right? We spoke about Braum just before Kuden came in to have a chat. You would expect the Braum to want to invade. It is one of the champions that does exceptionally well at that. Mayfun now going to steal Red Raptors, wants to have a look at mid, but it's Refury just controlling the tempo of the lane, right? Has an extra minion right now also, so you can assume it is going to start to push in his favor. Scuttle Crabs are the name of the game, realistically, and seeing what Arthur does here, knowing that his red's already been taken. So Braum has played its part. It existed. Level 1 happened. But Arthur, it still feels like, is just going to be vertical jungling. Refury, though.
It's going to hit him with a bit of a how you doing. Going to be spotted on vision there by the ward planted by Arthur. What's going to happen here? Arthur down to 50%, and well, he's just going to do ring a rosy, isn't he, really? He's just going to walk away and say, okay, I know where you are. Do I double back, hit you with the mind games?
Surely you go back to the red. You've got Mayfun about to face check and Topoon's missing. Surely the Rise goes back to the red.
Topoon's here. It is locked in place.
If he gets this red, there's just no shot. That is a flashless Gwen.
Okay. And he's just gone. He's out. Question is, he needs to burn the ghost here, surely. Because he's in trouble. Flash on his head as Refury smites that one. Looking to try and run away from this one. Going to be taken by Mayfun instead. Dashes out of vision, but not for long. First blood here secured by Mayfun, but going to be answered back in bot lane by Raze.
Yeah, I mean, bot lane just gets themselves a nice little 2v2 kill. We'll have to see how that one happened. All 4 sums gone from the side of Mammoth. It's good they get the first blood. Gwen was just very illegal. Trying to really double down and commit to that one. Was just playing them all.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Super worth for the side of the Chiefs because it's, you know, a second kill going onto the Jinx. We'll see what happens here in the first place. Hook just hits. That's a sick hook. Straight onto the carry. It should just be an instant stun on the Dragku, but Raze is getting all the damage down for free here. How do they die? Oh, it's just Rocco that dies. That's fair. And then the dive afterwards, right? Dragku trading his life, still very worth.
Great spacing and a great way to answer back, as you say. Mayfun going to cop a bit of a bullying here. Dragku going to hex tech. Oh, so close. We've seen hooks like that hit, but on this occasion, not today.
That was very close, I will not lie. Nevertheless, nothing comes from it. Just a bit of Hex Flash abuse there from Dragku. We like to see it. Top lane we haven't spoken about at all so far. 5 minutes into this one, though, it's very clear that Topoon's having a great time. Just manipulating minions, Skimmy. That's what top lane's about. But this wave is building and is going to be huge. So you're expecting probably a hard push from Topun on this next wave to try and crash it before he resets himself.
Dreku returns home. He's had his overseas experience. He's roamed the lands. And he's back to keep Raze in check. 2-0. Already with a bounty. Only 5 minutes into this game. The game's already decided. You're fed. You need to be shut down.
Andrew coming bot lane. I mean, 2 ranged auto attack champions, I guess, can work with the Braum. Very difficult to do given that there's no summoners there for the Braum to engage. Usually Q Flash is one of the best ways to kick those off because it's guaranteed. But at the same time, Raze no summoners himself, so it really is just going to be time spent, time wasted.
Servers had enough of it. They said, let's look at topside and said, let's just see a Mega Nard take a turret plate. It was close. Very close. Won't find it just yet.
If that minion wave gets hit by the turret though, Topun's such an alpha. He now ults not just the Malphite, but make sure the wave is pushed back and buys like a half second of time for the next minion wave to crash Skimmy. It's classy because the next wave from Topun that gets there hits the turret, which means by the time he gets back to lane, it's pushing towards him. You can't ask for more from a top laner.
Certainly can't. He has set that gold standard very early on, reminded us of why he was the GOAT, if you will, of 2020 before he departed to the LCS. But the odds are really against Mammoth on this occasion, not only from ourselves, but also from the fan vote too. 90% of you believing that Chiefs should take this one out easy as it comes. Good start for them. But Mammoth have been answering back. There's a blast cone into the river, looking towards that dragon, and on towards a key target. But Tony's going to get his number, take out Refury. There's a 1-kill trade. There's not even a trade at all. Until I lied, it's a double kill found here by the Vector. Raze is going to get his 3rd of the game. The hook is there. Where are you going? Triple kill at 7 minutes in.
That is 3 kills apiece for both carries of the side of Chiefs. Now Tally with a cheeky triple. Raze putting in some work of his own accord in that fight. And how easy did that look? There was multiple members of Mammoth there looking to actually take some kind of skirmish, but first of all, I'm not sure that was the window for Mammoth. Mayfan level 5. They blast cone over. Refury just gets caught by a hook, instantly dies into the burst of Tally. Raze and Dragu just stand up, put in a lot of work, and as you can tell, it's very easy. 2nd kill that goes down onto the Kindred. And a Zeri and a Braum have very good potential to get some stuns down in some prolonged skirmishes, but in terms of items, they're so far behind. And Tron.
There we go. That's what you love to see like that, isn't it? Topun just flashing into action. Close. So close there from Tron, but he's burned everything just to stay alive.
I think Tron did what we all did, Skimmy. He assumed he was dead. There's no way Dragu can go for that one. No ignite, even with the flash there, and he's not level 6, so wouldn't actually have the damage, I would say, as Refury is about to find him. Hello.
Oh, hello. Dragu says, where's my mid laner? Wait, he's locked at his tier 1. I need to get the head out of here. So disengages away. The rest of that, no, we're actually on the hunt too from bot lane roaming up. Cheeky little invade, scout out some vision.
Mammoth grouped this time, but really nothing to do. We are already looking at 2 completed mythics, Skinny. It is 8 minutes into the game, and there is a Ludens and a Kraken Slayer.
It's pretty illegal.
It's highly illegal, yeah.
Usually we talk about that's a quick mythic at like 10 minutes, but that's something else entirely. Now, Mayfine is level 6, has the Lamb's Respite. There is invulnerability available for them. Didn't find the gank from the lane.
Surely he was spotted, right? I wonder if the Chiefs are confident they can take this.
They feel like they want it, so he's just going to turn around, hit him with a hook, and say, where you going? Depth Charge knocks up 2. Raze flirting with it. Low on mana, needs that Presence of Mind reset. Has to switch to minigun. Sidesteps the Braum Q. Finds the counter voice! Nice Lamb's Respite! That's what he's telling them. As he walks in, he gets a cheeky heal, and he gets himself a double kill. Give us the triple kill, and give us Raze playing out of control.
You just can't gank him. Stop trying to 2v3 Raze in the LCO. It doesn't work. Dragu, Raze working together. They're absolutely the MVP duo right now in the bottom lane.
He's just cracking up in the player cam saying, how did that work?
I mean, it's funny because we were sitting here talking and I said to you just prior to that, you reckon they think they can win this? Like, surely they saw Mayfun. Why'd that feel so easy? Raze has ult. He was probably waiting for the door to go down, but just got given the first kill and reset, so he didn't need it.
Really is textbook stuff. He might not VOD review, but we certainly are. And let's just see it one more time.
Yeah, so the Kindred will come around. Braum does everything we said he would, right? Q flash, auto, but he's not level 6. So once again, the combo's not going to be complete. That means the stun's not going to be seen. Right, so the fact that the Braum stun doesn't go through and doesn't complete, Raze just able to sit there, even with 2 stacks on the passive and free hit. Mayfun misses the timing. Rocco's not there to protect anymore because the door's gone and Zeri's gone. And with Voice dead, no shot they win that fight. Just too clean with it, Raze and Dragku.
Far too clean. Really working in harmony and abusing the fact that we have an item advantage. So take us. We will take that 2v3. And it puts a bit of a dampener on the game, really, given the fact that, you know, Mammoth opened up with that Zeri pick, which has been permabanned a fair bit ever since it's come into the meta. He has looked really strong on it, but not going to be afforded the same kind of luxury this time. 1 and 3, desperate for that first item at all, ready to be completed. By the time that's done, you're probably looking at 2 for Raze.
Drake going to be freely secured here as well, so give me no contest. Easy objective. Full completed item here from Arthur as well with the Nash's Tooth, so very adept at taking down those camps by himself. Mayfun wants to come bottom, but the hook's on.
Well, first you don't succeed, try again. Seems to be the mantra coming out here, and he says, well, I will take that trade. Thanks for the double kill again.
Oh no.
And we'll flash forward, and we won't get you, but Arthur's on the hunt. He wants a kill, he wants some KP, and the needlework is fantastic.
The Kindred's just not the play. I don't know what to say after that one, as if that fight was ever a fight.
Yeah.
There's no human that looks at that and thinks this is the fight that I need. You know what worked so well for us last time when they 2v3'd us? I think we do it again after those 3 kills and reset. I'm still
like...
not level 6 on Braum.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot going on. It just feels to me like if this was one of those scrim blocks, this would be the case where you hit the FF at 15 and you run it again. It's a very rough situation to find yourself. And we're talking about 8-minute mythics, we're talking about 12-minute 10k gold leads. You're clutching at straws really to find a way that Mammoth can get back into this one already so early on.
Haven't really seen anything from the Mel fight yet either, while we're looking at it. Just existing in top lane, slowly losing. Raze and Drag who are going to be able to flip the map. Tron's just going to have to walk away, but top lane's almost mega, so he could hop if they wanted the kills. Arthur.
Draco was looking for it, but off screen, no, has to come out. Off in a 1v3! Into the lambs of Spidey goes. Oh, super! Sidestep on that rocket. He's going to get one anyway, as Sally rocks up to the fight. The fight continues by the Raptor pit. They find the Braum too. That's 2 kills already in what is a 1-for-2 trade. Still, the Chiefs hot in the driving seat. And a silver lining, if you will.
I think we need to come up with a word other than silver. It's not worth as much as silver is worth. Skimmy, I don't know if I've ever seen this before. We're 13 minutes into a game, and it's like 11,000. Gold difference. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
So, our current record for the quickest game is 18 minutes and 36 seconds. That is owned by Pentnet. Is there a world which Chiefs has looked to try and beat that?
I mean, just press tab if you're Jinx right now. You literally have Kraken Slayer, Phantom Dancer. You can afford a Control Ward and a Pickaxe that your opponent has a Variety Bucket from a bargain bin.
They're op shopping.
They're op shopping.
Yeah, they look good, but it's not winning any style points on this occasion. Certainly when your opposition, the Jinx, is... well, they've got the drip, don't they? I think that's what the young people say these days.
How did I know you were going to get to saying the word drip?
Yeah.
How did I know?
Yes. We could have gone one step further, but we're not sponsored by Gucci or anybody, so we won't go down that direction anytime soon. What would be quite exciting and quite fashionable would be another gank attempt in the bot lane. Rocket goes out. This time it lands. This time it kills. And this time, find another 2 members. Another turret gone. 6 turrets claimed at the 15-minute mark. Unheard of.
I mean, this is maybe a 16-minute GG. You take the bot inhibitor, sure. You probably even just bring Topoon across. What's to stop you from threatening the end? The fact that they're teleporting here is a strong indicator that it's not just the inhibitor they're after. Watch Topoon as well. If he comes over, they might try and end before 16 minutes. What's the schedule?
We need an extended pause after this one. Let's see. It's do or die. In they go. Unstoppable falls, but it doesn't do much. Glacial Fissure there to overlap. But they can't take down Talinada, frantically flashing away, but the damage from her father. Rocket launch off this Jinx with so many items complete. Is reigning supreme. Topoon close to Mega. Keen to hit the kill switch. So much time to play around with. Mayfun just 2-shot. The plot armor of the arcane characters is a little bit too strong. Tally going to find himself a 6th kill in this game. 1 Nexus turret destroyed, a 2nd soon to follow as the hook goes out. It won't connect, but they won't mind. In he goes. A Rocco, a Brom in a 1v5 says, watch this. How do you like that one?
Rocco sees a montage moment. He tries to Q-flash Ignite Raise. All of it misses. He doesn't press Ignite. He walks away. Just barely. I think Chiefs, they actually did try to end there, but just held off. Here they go again.
Here we go, round 2 in the Octagon. We're throwing punches and some of them are landing. Oh, the Chaos Storm. It is taking down casualties. And Mayfarm's going to get topped up, only to be forced to go crumbling down, much like these turrets. As Fury said, well, maybe I can try and proxy it away right in your face. Not going to be the case. That is the new record in LCO history. 16 minutes and 53 seconds.
I mean, what? Well, that was a paddling.
That was the game.
Tell you what, that was not a lot of League of Legends. What do you even do, right? Like, there's so much to say from draft that just went awry, it felt like, for Mammoth. And then the gameplay happened. They win a 2v3, then they win another 2v3, and then they literally just end the bot lane. Like, that was absurd. That was so one-sided. I think the fact that we argued that like maybe 5% was too generous before the game just proved true.
Yeah, I think it did. And Mac, I mean, we could clutch at straws and say this is the reason they're 15-1. This is the reason they're the favourites. They're first. But I mean, honestly, they've got all these accolades and trophies and titles already. They just said, we want one more. Give us the fastest game in history.
Mate, that was it. I was trying to set up something funny with my alarm going off and doing a whole bit. The fastest one I had was 30 seconds, and I didn't get that on fast enough. You know, the game was too damn quick. So there you have it. Big congratulations. Chiefs, they've done it with the God Squad, you know, and oh, look. So Voice knew that was happening from the get-go. You could see him giving him the salute saying, all right, boys, we're going to war.
Buckle up.
This one has not gone well for Mammoth. Oh, my. Chiefs doing everything right, rotating as a team and just winning every single team fight from this get-go. Oh, my, that was something. So, a short game, and fortunately, I believe we have a little bit of content to fill the time, because it's going to be a long break before the next game otherwise. I do have Statsman telling me Raze has 2,387 damage from the Kraken, 59 seconds of lethal tempo in 16 minutes. That's a lot of seconds. He only did 223 cut down damage because he was 2 levels ahead of most of the enemy team, so he didn't get any use out of that room, and he was almost double Voice's gold. So, look, we sung Voice's praises, and we also asked the question, like, what can Voice do in this bot lane matchup in the pre-show? And the answer was just nothing. I don't know, I saw some people in chat asking about that draft, asking about what's going on here for Mammoth, and look, this is exactly why you really need to have a solid draft phase, right? Because if you're coming in with a draft that doesn't match up well against the likes of the Chiefs, then the fastest game in the LCO happens. So there you have it. It was 16:53 when the Nexus went down at 16:58 overall.
So,
20k gold lead as
so
well.
Kraken Slayer almost did more damage than everyone on the other team. Like, the item's mythic passive almost outdamaged the enemy team.
Yeah, 2,387. So that's more than the Braum, understandable, and almost more than Tron. who did not have a good time in that top lane. Of course, Tapoon on the Gnar, that was a spectacle. The man was just, owning his opposition. So, a little rough. I think, if anything, you're looking at the takeaways, the jungle, Mayfar, did a bit better than what happened with Arthur there. So we'll give them that. Look, they won in one lane, and that's only in terms of damage, because, of course, we saw what Arthur did that game. He was just dodging damage, just getting that cloud up as the Gwen and just being an absolute nuisance. So it's not even him you need to talk about. It's just Tally and Raze. You always talk about Tally, Raze, and Tapoon, but even Tapoon wasn't, that influential in comparison to what Raze just did to Mammoth.
This bot lane, man. I mean, they are just week in, week out, punching their ticket, locking in the card and saying, we're just going to smurf. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, those two in tandem right now are on a whole another level. And I'm so terrified of when it's going to end, right? Because we talk about honeymoon phases, we talk about good form, but you really love to see Chiefs retain this form and going into those best of 3, best of 5s, because otherwise some of these other teams can certainly catch them out. But at the moment, it's an absolute treat to watch.
Well, I feel like there's been a steady incline of consistency from Chiefs from the start of the split. So maybe it's, just downhill from here. They've already locked that playoff spot.
Hopefully
and they're not having fun in these games. Well, they're having fun, but they're having fun in the best kind of way and stomping on their opponents. Now, Kitty, do you ever stomp on any opponents in your norms, or what's going on?
Well, usually by the 16-minute mark, it is usually an FF at 15, but sadly you can't do that in competitive League of Legends. So with the 16-minute game just happening, I'm pretty shocked, and I'm sure Draku's also really shocked at his performance. He's just... Draku! So, do you have anything to say to PGG after yoinking the record for the fastest game in the LCO?
I don't know, just try to beat it, I guess. I don't really want to shit talk PGG, so shout out Udisoft.
Shout out to Udisoft once again. So you have just proved yourself for being the best mechanical bot lane in the LCO. What's the secret behind winning every single 2v3 in the bot lane?
I'm pretty sure because me and Quinn, we're both like avid anime watchers, and me and him both share the same favorite anime, which is My Dress Up Darling. Me and him are big fans of Myron, so that's why we're so good together. I think our synergy is just a lot better now. So, and also I'm playing a lot better, so every bot lane has to watch out.
Well, speaking about best girls and anime, do you have any anime to recommend to the fans, because we do have some time left on our hands?
Ooh, okay. Recommend some anime. Well, I know, you look at me and you're just like, alright, this guy's favorite anime is like Baki or like freaking Attack on Titan, but my favorite animes are actually like Bunny Girl. I really like Bunny Girl. I like My Dress Up Darling. I really like, what's the other one? I really like Komi. Komi Can't Communicate, and I really like Higurashi, if anyone knows that. So yeah, I'm actually just a big weeb. So those are my anime recommendations, fellas. Enjoy.
Well, thank you for the anime recommendations. I am going to check them out after this game. We do have the Diz appearance, but on the inside, you're still a, little bit of a weeb, but that's okay. Draku, congrats on the win once again and having the fastest record in the LCO, and hopefully you get a good night's rest for tomorrow.
Thank you. Retrospection. Passion.
Yes! Focus and retrospection. Bring it back.
It really is the key. Now, I just want to point out that, Kitty, when we've been asking the players about the game, we get way shorter responses from them than when we ask them about anime.
Yeah,
you ask them about anime, they will talk your bloody ear off. You ask them about the game that just happened, they don't care. They just got the dub. That's all they just want to move on. Get over to their regular programming on Netflix streaming.
It's because they want to watch anime.
That's it. They just don't care about the game, unfortunately. So get that dub and move on to the finer things for all you weebs out there. But look, we have a Dare MVP, and it is the partner in crime from the bot lane. It wasn't Draku. It was the man he was lifting above his head. It was Raze. 12, 0, and 9. I feel like by the end of the split, Raze has to just be like one of the, if not the most consistent player of all. the Dare Ask Coffee MVP's gone to him a fair few times now, and just look at the damage share, look at the KP, and a game that's short, that's ridiculous. Man was involved in 21 of those kills in 16 minutes. That's crazy, Rust.
As far as I know, this would be Ray's 5th MVP, which would put him up there with like Kyose and Puma for two of the highest performers for their respective teams.
Yeah,
but
true.
yeah, look, the stats are going to be very flattering for this guy. 12-0-9 in a 16-minute game. That's a whole lot of kills for a 16-minute game, just quietly, which means they were mostly happening around his area of the map. And like you heard from Dragku, watch out for both of them. Right, it's not just the AD, the hooks they're hitting. It's the 2v2s, the 2v3s where they're winning. It's not just Rays.
Okay, I've got the stats. They're in, and Rays currently has the most MVPs of any individual in the LCO, other than Puma. I just spotted that one. So good to see that they're both tied, and it's both the ADCs. You know, we've generally always had strong ADCs in the region. It goes to show that, you know, some fancy footwork, some fancy plays, and some ridiculous damage is exactly what you need to secure that Dare MVP. Although, look, I think last split, we did a lot of, you know, giving it to the people that were sort of facilitators, right? We were trying to focus more on the supports last split of last year. Tried is the key word, Rusty. I know that it's hard because there's a lot of good ADCs. There's a lot of flashy plays that come out. But look, let's talk about you guys at home. Let's talk about from the fans, because you've heard enough about the players, you've heard enough about the teams, and you want to see these items that you've been drawing. I want to see them too, so let's see what you've been working on.
Okay. Let's see if we can make these ones
Let's have
out.
a look. I think we have 3 here. Kitty, you did one.
Yeah, I did one. I even added a little emoji because that's how I feel about this item. So please introduce this item, guys.
Yeah, Max.
It's a chalice
Continue.
of blood.
Is this a theme?
I think it's Holy Grail.
I missed
Themes
this
on
item.
Holy Grail, yeah.
On Holy Grail, yeah. Sorry.
One of them. It's got holy in it, you're right.
It's a cup.
This
Big
was,
cup that Skinny was talking about to put his coffee in earlier.
True.
From memory, it's if you do damage, you like bank up extra healing or something like that.
Yeah, so starting from the very beginning of time, this item was actually built for mid laners, but they reworked it, and for how much damage you deal, it heals back onto your shields and heals from champion abilities. So that's why all the supports started building it, and then they got rid of it. So now I'm very depressed, and I just miss her so much.
Oh, so this was pre me being involved with League of Legends. Is that why it's... Or does it exist right now?
No,
It's
it's been
gone.
removed.
So it's gone. Right, okay, that's what I'm
Gone
getting. I
right
had
now,
to Google
yeah.
it because I'm so confused. I was like, I haven't seen this. Why have I not seen it? Now there you go. So let's jump
Oh
on
my
to
God,
Stick
not
Man
this one.
What's
Sand
this?
Next.
Cursed.
Next.
with a
Cursed,
banner of
cursed.
fist, banner of paw.
Banner of Command. Oh no.
Yeah,
was-
this
What a
was
time for
broken.
compet.
The
What
most,
happened? Tell me
the-
about it.
The most broken I've ever seen was Banner of Command and Zizirot, or like Zerot, I forget what you called it, Portal, where Banner of Command would buff minions so that they took like no damage, right? So you could have minion waves that just pushed by themselves, and if you were not a physical damage champion, like say Gragas at the top laner right now, right?
Yeah.
It would probably take him 30 seconds to kill the one minion, at minimum, right? And then you have a Zerot portal, which would summon extra minions with you. So you're just perma pushing, and the only counter was to build it yourself. So
Not sure
you would
you
That,
said
that makes
Zerot.
sense.
Pardon?
That's nuts. Now,
Zizirot?
I'm looking. It
Zerot?
said it
I
had
like Zerot.
40% reduced damage for enemy champions and 100% bonus damage against turrets and bonus stats. That's for the
Yeah,
minions.
it was cringe and
so-
bad. It got deleted for a good reason. Was my
yes,
conclusion.
cringe and bad.
Cringe and bad.
It's usually things that go together. In the
A
same
real
sentence.
designer meeting at Riot 8. Cringe and bad, gone.
Decided
Yeah.
this is
Well,
cringe
this
and
one's
bad.
this one's colourful, as it says up the top there. You can have a look. Thanks, Haley, for submitting this. But I've got absolutely no idea what this is. So, Kitty, you're pretty good with figuring things out. What is it?
This honestly looks like what I would see in biology. You know, you got some the plant cells going on. You got the green everywhere. You got the little cell walls. You know, I don't know what the blue
I'm
can be.
legitimately
that
Googling to try and figure
mitochondria.
out what it could be.
The mitochondria.
Is it upside down? Is it a stalactite or a
What
stalagmite?
is
That's what we
green,
got to
guys?
figure
What
out
is
here.
green and blue?
What is green and blue?
Apparently, it's Chemtech Purifier.
Oh, that's Putrefier.
Putrefier.
Okay, it's the right shade of green. We'll give her that.
That's a current item. That's why it threw us, because we were all trying to think of like what's a
Yeah.
deleted item. No, that makes a lot more
Ah.
sense.
I was like maybe Static Shiv, but like, I don't know,
That
man.
makes so much more sense.
Okay, I'm looking at the image. I can kind of see it.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
still very confusing. So
I like
I-
this. So
I
confusing.
at least the banner of command was, understandable. And Kitty, you did one that confuzzled me. I was like, why? What's this? It was a chalice.
Not one of the OGs, Mac.
No, not one of the OGs, unfortunately. But I am a CG, a current gangster. So look, I'm here for the moment. I'm here. I'm having a good time. Now, ladies and gents, look, we have a little extended break before we jump on into Game 3 for the day. So don't go too far. Enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you just after this extended break for a big game. It's Direwolves and Kanga looking to go toe-to-toe.
And here it comes. Good start for them. But Mammoth have been answering back. There's a blast cone into the river, looking towards that dragon and on towards a key target. But Tony's going to get his number, take out Review. There's a 1-kill trade. It's not even a trade at all. He still alive. Double kill found here by the Vector. Ray's going to get his third of the game. The hook is there. Where are you going? Triple kill at 7 minutes in.